Hi guys, this is Miss Tatum, and I would like for you to go on a journey with me today under the sea.
The ocean, home. Squid and lobster, giant whales, jellyfish and seahorses, and fish with tails, sharks and walruses, oysters with pearls, cuttlefish and octopus, see them twirl, crabs and sea snakes, electric eels, dolphins, orcas, and clapping seals, mussels, swordfish, turtles, and shells, starfish and clams hide in ocean swells. All make their homes in the depths below, dark and mysterious. There's lots we don't know. So let's learn together, you and me, about the creatures under the sea.
Hey y'all, it's Miss Garrett. I wanted to share a book with you all about animals in the ocean. It's called Commotion in the Ocean by Giles, Andre, and David W. Commotion in the ocean. There's a curious commotion at the bottom of the oceans. I think we ought to go and take a look. You'll find every sort of creature that lives beneath the sea swimming through the pages of this book. But can you see behind the wrecks and in between the rocks? Let's take a look and find who's hiding there. Crab. The crab likes walking sideways. And I think the reason why is to make himself look sneaky and pretend that he's a spy. Turtles. We crawl up the beach from the water to bury our eggs on dry land. We lay a whole batch, and then when they hatch, they scamper about in the sand. Dolphins. The wonderful thing about dolphins is hearing them trying to speak. It's not, how do you do, as I'd say to you. It's more of a click, whistle, squeak. Click, 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 whistle, click, 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 click. Shark.
I swim with a grin to greet you. See how my jaws open wide. Why don't you come a bit closer? Please take a good look inside.
Swordfish. I love to chase after small fishes. It keeps me from getting too bored. And then when I start feeling hungry, I skewer a few on my sword. Octopus.
Having 8 arms can be useful. You may think it looks a little bit funny, but it helps me hold all my children and tickle each one on the tummy.
Stingray. At the bottom of the ocean, the stingray flaps his wings. But don't you get too close to him. His tail really stings. Lobster. Never shake hands with a lobster. It isn't a wise thing to do. With a clippity-clap and a snippity-snap, he would snip all your fingers in two. Blue whale. There's no other beast on the planet as big as the giant blue whale. He measures a massive 100 feet long from his head to the tip of his tail. We're just a bunch of barnacles and all we do is clean. We know it's not that glamorous, but it's our favorite thing. Those are little barnacles under the blue whale. Walruses. Our bodies are covered with blubber and our tusks are incredibly long. We're grumpy and proud and we bellow out loud to show that we're mighty and strong. Penguins.
Water around our icebergs, which makes our feet slither and slide, and then we close to the water. We sleep with a splash off the side.
Polar bears. Deep out in the Arctic, the mommy polar bear snuggles up with all her children since it's very cold out there. Can you name the other friends we've made along the way? See if you can tell me who they are.
Hello, I'm the angelfish darling, the prettiest thing in the sea. What a shame there are no other creatures as gorgeous as me.
The jellyfish loves to jiggle, which other fish thinks is quite dumb. Who knows that it is not all that useful but jiggling is lots of fun.
Good morning, boys and girls. This is Mrs. Stiles from MES. I hope you all are well, and we really miss you. And I want to share something with you this morning that is a favorite of mine, and that's the ocean. I was so excited to tell you about it this morning that I put on my bright shirt this morning because the ocean, going to the ocean, makes me happy. I want to show you a picture that I have. This is the color of the ocean. You may have seen water before. That's not a true blue, but if you go to the ocean, the actual ocean, the water is very, very blue. At the top, I have a picture of the sunset at the ocean. The sunset happens very quickly when you go there, and the very best sunsets are when there are lots of clouds outside to see them. I want to show you some pictures. If you go to the ocean, you need to dress warmly. Even in the summertime, this is in the morning, and it's very chilly outside. If you go in the morning, you may be lucky enough to find a starfish or maybe even a little shrimp on the beach in the morning that has come up from the night before. You'll see seaweed there, and sometimes there's lots of bundles of it. Some is brown, some has a little bit of color. Kids like to play in it. It's kind of sticky, so you may like it and you may not like it to play in. Again, the water, very, very blue, and you can see the waves coming up on the rocks. Something that I think is very cool at the ocean is that when the water comes in and it goes out, it covers up the whole beach. It's wet, and as it starts to pull out, the sand dries very quickly, and it's really awesome to look at. These are some birds that are living out on an island, and you kind of wonder about that. Why? Yeah, it's bird poop that's on that island out there. The sailors like to come in, and a lot of times, even in the summer, they have to wear their suits because the water is still cold out there. The very last picture is Denali, and Denali was my friend that liked to sit and watch sunsets with me at the ocean. This is a piece of seaweed that I brought back from California when I went out years ago, and it kind of looks like a piece of bacon, doesn't it? It doesn't really look like seaweed, but it dried out, and my son called it bacon, so we call it bacon to this day. When you go to the ocean, you may find shells there, and I have a collection of shells, and I also have some shells in my terrarium that I love to keep. I have a sand dollar. You can find those at the ocean sometimes. If you break it open, it has little doves inside of it, but I don't want to break my sand dollar open. And I brought home some sand from the ocean, and I was so surprised because when I brought it home, it was looking very dark. I hope that you and all my friends here from the ocean and the California have a great time. We really miss you. Take care. Bye-bye.
Hello, boys and girls. It's me, Miss Red, and I'm going to read you a story, Under the Sea. Here lies the rusty wreck of a ship, deep down in its ocean grave, haunted by the bones of a long-lost crew, or eels in an octopus wave. The manta ray flaps huge fishy wings and soars like a bird or a bat. The other fish stare and gasping ask, now what in the ocean is that? It's coming to get you. Whoa. The great big blue whale is gigantic. If an elephant peeped into the sea, he would say in great amazement, that thing is even bigger than me. See the elephant? The octopus has so many arms, she can act upon any wish, throwing balls, flying kites, and wave to her friends while conducting choirs of fish. Dolphins have such delightful smiles as they race and leap to the sky. They grin and they swim and swish their fins as miles of the seas flash by. Woohoo! Mr. Great White Shark looks very upset. His jaws are a terrifying sight. I will not think of his great big teeth when I go to sleep tonight. And look at this octopus. He looks scared. Look at all of these. The turtle can hide inside his shell whenever he is feeling shy, but he peeps outside when you open this book just to see who is passing by. Does a seahorse live in a stable? Does he gallop, race, and neigh? I would go for a rocking seahorse ride if under the waves I could play. The lobster, who likes to hug you, says, "Watch out for my claws." Now, would you like to cuddle me and kiss my feathery jaws? As Mr. Crab runs sideways, this is very hard, you know. My legs are zippy, my claws are nippy, but I never know which way they will go. The end. Have a great summer, boys and girls.
And so, Miss Christie has a bottle of water. Actually, it was a Gatorade bottle, and I filled it up, not really halfway, a little bit underneath the halfway mark. So this is your regular water. This is a controlled substance. We can add some food coloring. So I'm going to take some food coloring, and I'm just going to put in a few drops inside of the water. One, that's good. Look at it, it's turning it blue. So I'm going to kind of shake it up a little bit, and we have blue ocean water. So I got my oil here, and I'm going to take it. I'm going to fill it all the way, almost up to the top. So let's see. Oh, look at those bubbles. Almost to the top. Oh, look what's happening. Look what happened. Oh, where is the oil? It's sitting on top of the water. You may have heard your mom, oil and water do not mix. So watch what happens. Well, let's create a wave. All right, let's kind of give it a little, does that kind of remind you of something? Like the ocean wave? So cool. Remember, you got to add a lot more cooking oil than you do water. Look at there. And notice how the oil is just sitting on top of the water. Okay, y'all ready? Here we go. Through the oil. And it's floating on top of the water. So what does that mean, kiddos? That means that the almond is actually lighter than water itself. Anyway, that was a cool, fun science experiment, ocean science experiment that you can do at home.
Hey kids! Our theme for first grade is oceans and beaches. Since it's about to be summer, we felt like that ocean theme was appropriate because you think of the ocean when it's warm and sunny. What we're going to do is draw a picture of an ocean scene, or what we think an ocean scene might look like. We're going to draw some ocean animals and ocean life. So these are some of the animals I would draw. If you know how to draw any other ocean life, be my guest, because there are probably some that I have not drawn on here that you would love to draw. Do you want to see my finished product? There's my finished product. I want to see what you can do now. I even added a seahorse to this one. And then there's the ocean floor, and some seaweed, and some coral. And then you have the water for the ocean. And like I said, you can color in crayon, colored pencils, marker, pastels, whichever you choose. And after you get done with your picture, you could even write a story about it. All of these animals could be friends. They could be going to a party in the ocean. It could be a real life story, or it could be fictional. Whatever you choose. All right? So I would love to see your pictures when you get done, okay? I miss y'all. Have a good summer.